back. Her time's up, isn't it? About
We're working with her on that. So soonish. Thank God.
well, being settlement and everything coming up, I think you would need a person. You know, ran into a little old lady outside the door that wouldn't take cash. They wouldn't take cash to her.
Okay, YouTube is
They
live.
scooted
Trying
her
to-
out.
Building's closed, offices.
She's
closed.
from Aurora.
What was she trying to pay?
Her real property taxes.
And she showed up in person?
Well, yeah, she got in there to the title company thing.
Oh, yeah, you get in that way. Well,
And the other side didn't want her there. Or wouldn't take her money.
tell her to document it. We're ready?
Good.
Okay. All right.
Glad we're staying
June
relevant.
30th at 10:03, we'll call the meeting of the Portage County Budget Commission to order. First, we're going to look at the minutes from our May 26th meeting.
Copy.
You have that?
I have
Brad?
that.
I have a copy.
Move approval.
Second,
Those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Sign the original.
Well, on the agenda is an alternate budget that Kent City would like to have, and this is what it's done is grouped everything together in one a total.
This is for the city of Kent.
Yes. She's a new fiscal officer over there. I've talked to her a couple times.
And this is an example of it.
That's an example where things are grouped together and you don't see all the particulars like we generally see in all the other budgets. Breakdowns, you know.
Yeah, so that it condenses to one page.
Yeah.
But you don't see what's behind each line item.
No, you don't.
Okay, is that,
That bothers me because
well,
I
that's
think
all I
it's
need to hear.
productive that we can see the different line items and especially going into 21.
Right. Brad, seen this?
I have not, man.
Yep.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, Janet, can you cliff notes that for me again? What's the rationale for the change?
It books everything into one hump
Mhm,
together and you don't see the different breakdowns that we see with other entities.
mhm.
You know, like we see appropriation units and you see, you know, whatever's in that unit and stuff. Now UAN for townships can't do that even, I found out, because of their software.
Oh,
So I don't know what software she's using and I didn't ask her.
So the city of Kent?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm not enthused about it because I like to see the different areas that it goes, everything goes into.
mhm.
That's what bothers me.
Well, I think as the county auditor, that's your prerogative to be able to look behind.
When we look at things and try,
Line
to, you know, do you see red flags or do you see not red flags?
Mhm.
And that's what happens with you when you see comparable years. But she did put comparable years totals in, which they have to do anyway. But
Was she asking us for approval to
well, she was
utilize
asking
that
me if she'd
format?
do that, and I told her I would present it to everybody.
I mean, you have a standard format for other subdivisions. I don't know why
That'd be the only
you
one
would
that'd be
deviate
different.
from that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because if you start doing that, it's Pandora's box, right? You're gonna have,
It's like we changed the time that the schools could do it because they're on a fiscal year, not a calendar year, or state year, I mean, not a calendar year.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is. And that's why I couldn't understand why she thought it was easier because she had to break it down anyway and should have it broke down anyway. For the console, you know what I mean? Or for a ruler.
What's there? That's obviously there.
Yeah,
She
and I
just
don't-
isn't including it for
Yeah.
you.
I just thought that was interesting. It picks up flags if something looks bad. You know what I mean? Like if Todd upstairs tries to give us more money in one area and we know we won't get it. You know, we've had discussions on that before. But that's different with the county one.
My feeling is that if you want, as the auditor, more information, you're certainly entitled to it. And
Well, it's easier if you do have it.
you should ask that she follow the same format as.
She won't have a problem with it. She
the
won't.
fact that everybody else is doing it isn't easy.
So I think we're
Yeah,
unanimous in that.
And I'm not
Yeah, we can-
against changing things. If we can find a productive reason to do it.
So you're okay? Just tell her
Yeah.
that we discussed it.
I don't have a
Prefer
problem
she
with
stay
it.
with the original format. Okay. All right, we're gonna look at amended certificates of resources. So that's county.
And then the schools, the carryovers we got. Most of them.
Okay. The school's on a July 1 fiscal year, right?
Yes, and also the CARES money came in, we got over 4 million. And it goes to cities, townships, villages on the same formula we used for the local government funds. Now we got 1.8 million in there, we got to certify for commissioners. That is their percentage of share.
Yeah, I see that there.
See that there?
All right. So I've got
funding.
We've
schools
already
here,
distributed some of them.
political subdivisions here in the county. Do you need?
I need them
schools
all
on this-
together.
All together?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
only one thing at the end, and it's for Randolph for their inside
I
millage
saw that.
that they're changing.
Okay. All right, well, we'll start with the political subdivisions then. Park District.
You going with Park District first, not the county?
Oh,
I don't care.
yeah, I got Park District on top.
That's fine. They're all amendments anyway.
I suppose I need to read the totals in because we're a Zoom meeting. So the Park District is $2,341,465 increase, most of which is in capital projects.
They're getting that money from the state to
And most
expand.
of that is Eagle Creek Greenway,
Yeah,
and
Streetsboro.
Tinkers Creek.
yes. And they got for
Eagle Creek is Garrettsville, yeah, or no?
Hmm?
Oh,
Is it a separate Eagle Creek? Tinkers Creek Greenway is in Streetsboro.
right.
Eagle Creek, I think, is Garrettsville, right?
Yeah, and it's also, another thing is they're getting is for the property, the Morgan property, where they're moving out of the health department, out of Family and Community Services building into a building over on Nicodemus Road for their own offices and stuff, which is a good move, saves some money. And Chris is very conscientious of saving money, very.
Kent City, $304,696 increase. Make sure that's all Kent, would you? Looks like a big tip.
Yeah, well, that's the stuff I gotta send to them after we're done with it.
All right.
So we just-
Streetsboro City, $460,082.
And again, just these are mostly CARES related then, Janet, these adjustments?
No,
These are
no.
different.
Look at the line item on this, at the second page.
Right.
Different reasons, something, I think that's capital.
It says Community Development Block Grant and CHIP.
It is. What kind of grants have they gotten?
City of Kent. General fund and capital projects.
The commissioners is the only CARES one.
Okay.
The rest are going to villages, cities, and townships.
What am I doing? Still in subdivisions. Hiram Village, $90,000, all in capital projects.
And pushing them to get their census done because they're low. It's terrible how low some of them are.
Manaway Village, $201,285. Enterprise Fund and Special Revenue Fund. Coronavirus Relief Fund
There you go.
for Manaway Village.
Oh, an EPA?
Well, some of them,
Not EPA, excuse me.
last
EMA.
Friday, some of them drew down their money because they had everything into us. Then we haven't gotten any after that.
Enterprise Fund is sewer and water.
Well, they got a problem.
This is Manaway.
'Cause they were gonna,
They're the ones that are selling their system, right?
yeah, they wanted to piggyback with us and then whatever. Some people didn't like
Yes,
it.
Manaway. And then the county, special revenue, $1,838,047.
Are we gonna circle back to the conversation about
CARES relief.
overall budget situation and what we've been talking about with them and with Gene and everybody else in light of the CARES money, or no? Is that gonna
Well,
be,
that's only gonna cover certain things.
I know it's specific to do repayments like to staff time and that sort of thing that are
No, you
related,
gotta be
right?
careful with staff time.
That's related
If
directly.
it's
to
already in the
CARES.
budget,
Yeah.
you don't pay.
Right,
staff
right,
time.
exactly.
I mean, there's lists and lists
Leaves
of
and
that,
stuff, right?
and they're still cleaning it up.
But I suppose my point is that 1.8 they're getting presumably is offsetting then potentially to some of the expected
Tax loss.
loss.
Yeah.
They have to be sent to the state. The state will have the state auditor audit them. And there is a chance of refinding as it isn't proper documentation and what it's allowed for.
Sending what to the state?
The Office of Budget Management.
It sends,
I don't have to,
Our-
I'm not supposed to check to see that they're fulfilling their requirements. We're supposed to give them all the money. And then they send everything and document what it was for. And the state comes in and audits it because it is a federal grant.
yeah, okay.
I mean, I think it's interesting.
So they're getting the money up front and then they have to document that it's spent appropriately? Is that what I'm
Yeah,
hearing you
we
say?
don't do that.
We being your office.
Our
That's
office, we
just a
do not
little-
do
yeah.
that.
Seems a little unusual structure wise, is all I'm saying.
Unusual? It's very unusual.
'Cause usually
Especially
you don't
when
get
some
the
of the
funding
rules are changing and any money that's
speculatively like
left
that.
over has to come back here in this pot and can be reallocated or whatever with approval. And there's some townships that I don't know would have hardly anything.
So the bottom line is the Portage County, broader Portage County bucket is the Portage County bucket. We have X CARES dollars. And then the division of that money is subject to people's spending related to the crisis. Sounds like you're saying.
Documentation,
Right, right.
which could be very hairy. Because I had some questions about the postage for a Board of Elections. Because they can't get poll workers and because of the pandemic. Well,
Oh.
maybe not.
Is that allowable? You mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
I think they'll be pretty liberal with it.
I would think.
We'll see. There's gonna be a group and the auditors are on this bad.
So in other words, we don't have to revisit the conversation yet.
There's no need to.
Okay.
It's like undivided funds. Taxes are paid, we expend the money out.
We haven't gotten any more tax information yet, have we? Sales tax numbers?
No, our next one should be interesting.
Yes, I'm waiting for.
The next one is one that's gonna
You'll see.
be April, right? Because
April, May.
the March numbers were not as bad as we anticipated they might be.
No,
They're 3
Which is
months
good.
behind, so.
Right, right.
April,
Yeah, yeah.
April. will
April's
be
the
a
next set.
hit, and
we won't
That's the
know.
first full
What I
month of
wanna know is
closure.
what's gonna happen to our local government funds
Yeah,
from
I
the
know.
state.
Yeah.
That's
All right, so
another
this
one.
is,
Do we know anything about what, sorry, I don't mean to belabor this,
Go ahead.
but do we know anything about where the state is on the LGF? Have they had any conversations that you're aware? I haven't heard anything new about
No,
that.
no.
And they're shut
no.
down until after
No,
the
But
election.
you've seen all the reductions they've done everywhere.
Right.
And how many millions and billions are behind.
Mhm.
Now, that affects all the money that goes into local government fund.
But they have not had the
And they don't have
conversation
any money from, no.
because they have to make,
Well, doesn't your
They have to.
association let you know what they're doing?
I'm asking if you have heard anything.
No.
Okay.
I have not either.
Presumably then it's a lame duck conversation then.
Everybody's up in the air because they truly don't know. They want to know what our income
Well,
tax is.
the
They want to
reason,
know
you
what
know,
our sales
The
tax
timing
is.
matters to some extent, right? Because if they're not making that decision until November, December, then that has different budget implications for us, potentially, right? Like when they decide, if in fact there is an LGF reduction, it happens later.
There's gonna be one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
well,
gonna-
right,
That's definite. How much? We don't know.
the timing matters.
Sure, for 2021.
See, I don't like not knowing ahead of time.
Right.
By September, we ought to have a good idea. And it all goes back to those certified unappropriated funds.
All right. Thank you for indulging my
Journal entries.
delay on that.
Well, how well the budget was done and how it was put into place, and we don't need more money for gasoline, repairs, enterprise money.
All right, so here we're certifying the federal CARES money to Portage County, $1,838,047.
And see, now we also got the Homeland Security money. You know, that's another pot. I talked to Ryan about that.
And you can't use, yeah, you can't use both. There's a whole, yeah,
What now?
it's very confusing.
Because we already gave him 700 and some thousand. You know, and everything we get from internal services has been through Homeland Security.
All right, we're gonna move now to the school districts. Their fiscal year begins July 1, so this is should we say 2019?
2019, 2020. No, 2020, 2021.
Initial budget said. Excuse me.
Yeah,
These all say 19.
well, that's a any, is it cash carryover? in it?
Yes,
That's our cash
but I
carryover.
mean, it says fiscal year beginning July 1, 2019.
Yeah. So they're ending, you know, half year and half year
Oh, okay,
now. And that's their carryover to start their July 1st.
okay. So this is just for carryover.
It should say how many amendments have been done.
So that's not their initial.
Yeah, see,
This is third amendment.
Yeah, and that's
These-
probably
these
the
are not
last one.
This is not the initial. first-
start.
Okay,
We'll get those next month then.
Right.
We've probably already done the certification because they
yeah,
asked
we
me.
did. We
Yeah,
did
and I asked them about real property. I said, I'm not giving you a figure.
this one.
You estimate what you think it's gonna be. Because either way, we could be wrong, either side. And they already got their cut from the state.
Okay, so we start with Aurora. This is their fourth amendment. It is a decertification of $1,326,069.
Well, that's interesting.
All in general and special funds mostly.
I bet more and more things are done online with the kids going back to school. My grandson up in Maine doesn't like it. He can't see his friends.
So yeah, that's, any kids like it. This is Crestwood, $13,282.
They're the ones that got the income tax. I see Waterloo's gonna be after an income tax now too. For the
They
school.
passed it?
They didn't pass theirs, right? They sought one or are seeking one.
Garfield got one.
Crestwood didn't though.
Right,
Okay.
no, no.
Yeah,
Somebody
Garfield
actually
did.
passed one?
Garfield did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Crestwood, I don't know what they're doing now.
Oh,
Can't remember. I just know Waterloo's going for his income tax.
What was the, I'm sorry, the amendment on that one? The upper right,
Sorry, but
third amendment.
Oh.
Okay, so Seventh
wasn't
amendment,
sure if you're looking for the amount or.
Seventh amendment for field local schools, decertification, $1,560,151.
Mickey lowered his road improvements by over $1 million
Uh,
because of this, you know, the taxes and license plate fees.
Gas tax,
Right.
license fee.
People are driving less. Excuse me.
I've used that gas and I drive what, maybe 2 miles?
Okay, where is the field is, all general fund decertification.
I think next year is gonna be the harder year for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Garfield Local Schools, Seventh Amendment, decertification, $12,223.
We got a lot of neat treasures. You know, for the schools.
Yeah, they bailing out or what?
Some of them moved up to more money. And one's driving all the way from Ashtabula here.
Wow.
I can't remember which one it
Crestwood.
is.
That's a Crestwood person.
Is
Pretty
it
sure.
Palm?
Sarah Palm, yeah.
Yeah, that's her name.
Maplewood, Fifth Amendment, decertification, $307,915. from special revenue and enterprise funds. Ravenna City Schools decertification, $983,873. General fund, special revenue fund, enterprise fund.
There was a bunch of people standing out there by the school because they wouldn't let them into the public hearing, or public meeting they were having at the school.
Are they going to Zoom meeting or something? Or
Presumably
No,
they're doing something like that.
they didn't let any,
they wouldn't let the
People in.
public in, huh?
no,
Yeah,
they were
This
out
is
there
not
with
my
their
client.
signs.
Not my problem.
it's a problem.
Not your problem. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was surprised to see how many people out there by the school.
Southeast Local Schools, Fifth Amendment. An increase, $824,729. Underestimated in the first place, huh?
I wouldn't be that surprised. It wasn't because they got more money from the arsenal though.
No, or anywhere else.
Nope.
Waterloo Schools, decertification, $559,463 on a Seventh Amendment. That concludes our amended certificates of estimated resources. I'll entertain a motion to adopt.
so moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, our final item of business is Randolph Township allocation of inside millage. They're taking their road and bridge millage and dividing it between their general fund and their total inside millage, thereby eliminating their road and bridge millage.
Yep, they are.
Just the inside portion, right?
That's it, the 10 mils, or they don't get 10 mils, but that's. I'll move
Who was-
approval.
Second,
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
presumably they have road and bridge levies that are,
Must be sufficient, yeah.
that's an easy process. Okay.
Any other business to come before the Budget Commission?
So the delivery order?
Not much we can talk about until we see those numbers from the tax
No,
Right.
collections. When do we usually get those? Good part of the month,
towards the end now.
so we should be getting it any day
Soon.
now, since we're at the end of.
We already got our money
We got those numbers for
Not
June
yet.
already,
next month,
so it'll be next month. we'll get it. Okay.
the end, because we got the ones already, because I sent them to you.
Yeah.
1,000,007. And that wasn't down that much.
Mhm. But it was only a half month of shutdown. So,
Yeah, it's
That was
not
into March, right?
gonna hit us next month if it's gonna hit.
Right.
Next 2 times.
At least the next 2 times.
Yeah, so by, yeah,
we don't know really what the rest
no,
looks like,
the first half tax collection is generally the biggest.
for sure.
So I'm anxious to see what's going on and how we do.
Me too. Based on past history, the fall off lags a year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, which makes some sense, but we'll see.
And the
I'm
peop-
watching that pretty closely too, because.
Well, see, the people making payments, we should be in better shape, depending on what happened to them on layoffs and stuff.
Ones that are in their mortgages, you mean?
Well, the mortgage payers are, that part's kind of protected because we're getting that payment one way or another from the banking institution. So those are, that's kind of the guaranteed income for lack of a better,
What percentage, do you know what percentage
about
of
half.
collections? Half?
roughly half are mortgagers and half are.
See, because I asked him that. The people that do, have set up systems and the ones that do through the mortgages, it would be nice to know the percentage.
You said about half.
It's roughly half.
So half of the whole. So we got 80 parcels, so 40% of the parcels are paid for. If you look at it that way,
Roughly
which
half,
isn't
yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah, that's all ballpark, obviously, but,
Mhm.
Because I was trying to figure that day I asked you, trying to figure out how much it was. But I see taxis is still at it.
And your taxes are done July 15th?
July 15th is our due date, yeah. Mhm. So we'll know shortly thereafter kind of where we stand.
Mhm.
Okay, next meeting, Janet,
Last Tuesday of the month,
of July,
yeah.
whatever that is.
Friday's a holiday, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody told me.
This week?
Yeah, because isn't the fourth
Yeah.
Saturday? I know.
You're gonna come in?
There's something happening.
I mean, I was,
You'll pull in the parking lot, you'll be the only one around.
well, it seems like that now. Did you
Yeah,
ever
really.
notice?
Yeah,
It's weird.
I could have parked wherever I wanted down there.
Mhm.
Huh? I do too, right by the delivery, and I kind of, I go half on the one next to me and half on delivery.
People are staying home.
So I don't have to walk and I don't have to walk through with my, little thing I had.
I will move, we adjourn. What
Very
time is
good.
it, Vic?
It is 10:30, we'll call it.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow. Half an hour and we did all that, millions.